Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. This channel is dedicated to helping you learn your favourite Bruce tracks on guitar. Every Friday there will be a new lesson complete with a full walkthrough of a song with tab and then a breakdown of all the individual parts. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for notifications. Okay, so this week's track is Land of Hope and Dreams. Thanks very much to Nick Burdekin for the request. Okay, so be sure to follow to the end of the video as well, just in case I go through any parts that aren't in the walkthrough or any other suggestions and tips and things like that. So what I'll do now is I'll go through the song and tab will appear on the screen as well, and then I'll come back and go through all the individual parts. So see you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what I'm going to do is go through all the individual parts. Okay, it's worth mentioning to start with that I'm doing this version in the key of B flat. So this is based on the kind of the New York, live in New York and the Barcelona kind of versions. It's just, I find the parts are easier to kind of, they stick out at you a bit more than on the record, which is also brilliant on Wrecking Ball. In Wrecking Ball, I think the song is in A major, so you'd have to have the capo on the 2nd fret. So again, so I'm doing it in B flat major. And again, also, like with other Bruce videos, I like to simplify it as much as possible and get the overall gist of what Bruce is doing on the guitar. So these are my versions. By all means, he probably changes it a lot when he plays it live, whether he be picking the chords or strumming it. What I'm also going to do is put the song structure up now. So if you weren't comfortable with the picking parts, you could always strum the chords. So the song structure shows you here clearly which chords, or pretty much spot on what chords he's doing there. Again, sometimes I'll just put G, it might be a G sus G5 or a G5 with an open E string. So, but this just gives you the really bog standard chords if you weren't comfortable with the picking stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what I think the intro is. Okay, so you've got the 3rd fret E strings. Again, I'm thinking of 3rd fret, even though it's technically the 6th fret, but because of the capo, let's call it fret 3, okay? So 3rd finger, 3rd fret, low E string, little finger, 3rd fret, B string, okay? And when I'm watching these videos and things like that, he does like to play his G's like that, C9s like that, D sus2s kind of like that. Just based on what I've watched, but you're more than welcome to play different versions like that or whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as Bruce, but this is, you know, I'm aiming to get as close as I possibly can. So, intro. Okay, so. That's that cool little opening kind of riff. So, what you're doing, quaver rhythm, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now there's a tie there on the 2nd note, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Picking wise, I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, up. I just find that works really well. By all means, have a go at your own picking style, as long as it's consistent. I think that's the key. Get the timing accurate, get the chord voicings right, and make sure it's consistent. Okay, so I'll do this again. So you're going to do 3 low E, 3 B, 3 low E, 1st finger, 1st fret, B, open B, open G. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2nd bar, very similar, but you're going like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're going 3rd fret low E, open B, 3rd fret low E, 1st fret B, then back to the B, the G string. So those 2 bars again. Just a brilliant riff, okay? Okay, and then basically all you need to do is move your 3rd finger, so it's on 3rd fret, so kind of based on a C chord here, or C9, whatever you like to, more like a C sus C chord, just think of it as a C chord. So get you almost like your C major position ready without your middle finger. So you're going 3A, 1B, back to 3A, open B, then back to the 1st fret B and then the open G. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the 2nd bar, so it says there's a slight variation on that 4th bar of the intro. So the 3rd bar of the intro again, where you start the C section, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 3 1 B, 3 0 B, 3 A, 1. And open G, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then the last bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here you use your middle finger and you go 2-0 on the G string. So those last 2 bars of the intro, or the 2 C bars, you've got this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So all those 4 bars together. That's pretty much spot on. It sounds awesome as well. Really nice rhythmic feel to it. Again, a lot of people don't know this, but on the actual walkthrough and on other parts of this video, you can click on the cog icon in YouTube, actually slow it down to say 75%. And that way you can play along with it a lot slower, at a lot slower speed. So that might help you as well. Okay, so that's the intro. So those 2 bars of G and the 2 bars of C with the picking. Then the first verse starts off with the same 4 bars. Okay, and then you're going to do the other 2 bars again, the 2 G bars again. Now I'm going to go to an E minor 7, which is an unbelievable chord. And this is the way I'm playing it. So 0, in terms of frets, 0, 2, 2, 0, 3, 0. Okay, so you've got this. So from the G, so here you don't actually need, you're actually missing the D strings. You don't actually, I just kind of do it out of habit, but so what you've got, picking wise, what I'm doing again is just keeping it consistent in terms of timing and picking. Bruce, you might want to try something else, like, or simplify it. I've just got it, what I've done is done the same rhythm as in the intro, so you can just, use your same chords, or different chords, but with the same picking pattern. So that E minor bit again, so this is bars 7 and 8 of the verse. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So open E string, 3rd fret B, open E, then the other E string, open E, and B, and then G. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It might not be exactly what he's doing, but it's pretty close. Then, classic Bruce chord he uses a lot. It's a D chord, or in this case it's a D sus2, where you have the open E string and then an F sharp in the bass. Now Bruce often plays this type of chord with his thumb. I'm not sure how good a practice it is to do that. So the Born to Run acoustic video, he plays it like that. But yeah, I tend to play it with my 1st, 2nd and 4th fingers. So you could play it with your 1st, 2nd and 3rd, that's okay as well. Okay, so this is the D sus2 over F sharp. So this comes in after those 2 bars of E minor. Again, same picking pattern. Just to keep it simple. 2 bars of that, and then C add 9. So go back to your 3rd finger on the A string, little finger, 3rd fret B string. So same picking pattern. Cool. And then you've got the D sus2 over F sharp bar twice. That one. And then C add 9. Or C sus2 with a 9th. Doesn't matter too much. And then 1 bar of D sus2, so you could play it with your 1st finger or your middle finger there, so you keep your little finger there. So this D sus2 bit, I'm going D, B, D, E, D, B, G. Even if you did it to something else, that would work perfectly. Yeah, feel free to mess around with it. Okay, and then you've got the G bit again. This time, kind of picking it differently than you did before. So that instead of that, thought I'd mix it up a little bit. So what you've got is the same as that C add 9 or C sus2, and just moving the third finger down there on the 3rd fret of the E. So same picking pattern. Okay, and then we've got the C add 9, then E minor 7 again, C add 9, D sus2. Yeah, so again, it doesn't have to be exactly right, the picking, but keep it consistent and make sure the timing is right. So I'll go through this verse section. So there's a lot of bars going on. So there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22 bars in the verse, which is also exactly the same in the second verse. So I'll do it nice and slowly. So you've got 2 bars of G. Let's start off like you did in the intro. And then E minor, and D sus2 over F sharp twice, C sus2 add 9 or C add 9, D sus2 over F sharp twice, C add 9, D sus2, G, but the new picking, C add 9, E minor 7, C add 9, D sus2. So again, if you didn't want to do that picking pattern, feel free to do something else with those chords. But that's the structure of those chords here. So that's changed quite a lot, but it's not too bad. Okay. Then you got that awesome. So I'm not sure if exactly right. Again, I've been watching Bruce's videos. This comes out a lot on the other instruments. I think it's either violin and maybe the mandolin that Stevie's doing in the live versions. I think Bruce might actually be doing this. Or something like that, but I'm not sure if he's doing this note. So what I mean by that is that you got this. So yeah, this is the one I tabbed out. So what you've got, 0, 3, 3. So that's open G. Again, you might not want to play the open G. I think it sounds quite note as a kind of nice as a pedal note. So you got this. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and... Again, I'm not too sure if he's actually doing this note in the recording or live. Or yeah, feel free to play around with it. I just think it sounds quite nice. So, timing wise, you've got semiquavers. So what's happening here is going 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and... The last 2 notes are quavers. So fret-wise, 0, 3, 3 on the G, B and the E, 0, 3, 5, 0, 3, 7. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and then the second bar, 1 and a 2 and a 3, so 1 and a 2 and a 3. So you're going 1 and a 2 and a 3, and a 4 and. So here you've got this kind of, it goes to 0, 3, 2 and 0, 3, 3. So that second bar again, 1 and a 2 and a 3. So 1 and a 2 and a 3. So that and a 3, you're doing the 5th fret of the E string. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and then and a 4 and a 4 and. So 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 3 for that last bit of this second bar of this kind of break chorus section. So those 2 bars again, 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. So that goes off a kind of a B flat chord, I think, something like that. So again. And that worked really nicely. Even that might not be doing that note, but it's kind of the overall sound. I think it sounds quite nice. And then over the sort of C add 9 or C or whatever they're doing, you move up. So your first finger is now on the 5th fret of the B and the E string, but you start off with your little finger on the 8th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now you've got 0, 5, 8, 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and. Again, same rhythm. It's really worth getting to know your 16th note strumming. Again, if you get stuck on that with your strumming patterns, head over to JS Music School, go on blog, go on strumming, and then go on 16th note strumming. So there's a sort of tack to how you strum. 1E and a, 2E and a, and you tend to stick with that formula. 1E and a, 2E and a. So 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and. So that's 8, 7, 5, 7 on the E string, and then that first finger is just staying there. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and. And then the last bar, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and. Now I'm just doing the kind of same note, which is a B flat, with the open string. You might not want to play that open string, entirely up to you. So bars 3 and 4 for that break section again, you've got this. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. So all 4 bars together, you got this. 1. Okay, you might not, I'm not sure if he's playing that open G string, which is technically a B flat, but play around with it and see what you think. Again, don't forget to check the tab and slow it down if you're struggling with that bit. Cool, so after that break section or the chorus, you've got the second verse, and then you have got that little riff a bit again for the second break and chorus. Cool, now what I've suggested for the this train, Saints and Sinners and all that bit, I've suggested you use a different picking pattern. You don't have to do this, you can do the same as before. So this is the third verse. You've got 2 E minors downstroke, so 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here you've got 2 downstrokes. Again, this is just a suggestive pattern. 2 E minor 7s with strumming. And then E, B, G, B. Up, up, down, up. I find that works nicely. And then the D sus2 over F sharp, same thing. And the kind of the G5 with that open E string, same thing. And the C sus2, or C sus2 with the 9th. And then it basically does those first 7 bars again of this section. So E minor 7. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then it does the C sus2 once this time, and then D sus2 for 1 bar. Cool, yeah, so that's 16 bars, and it's basically the same 8-bar phrase twice, but the last bar is D sus2 instead of the C sus2. Or C add 9, however you want to call it, yeah? So I'll do that again. So 2 bars of E minor 7, 2 bars of D sus2 over F sharp, 2 bars of G, 1 bar of C sus2, sorry, 2 bars of C sus2, then again, E minor 7 for 2 bars, D sus2 over F sharp for 2 bars, G for 2 bars, C sus2, then D sus2. So again, that open E, we're using it quite a lot, so you might want to change that around, you know, and cut that out if it's kind of, we're using it quite a lot. So that's the kind of third verse with that new suggested picking pattern. Then you've got that break chorus bit again, that bit, which is awesome, especially with all the other instruments. Cool, and then I've suggested we go really simple for the kind of breakdown section. You can embellish it if you want, but these are the chords. I'm just basically letting them ring out for 2 bars for most of this section. So you've got E minor for 2 bars, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the D sus2 over F sharp, let it ring out for 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, the G5 or G5 with an open E for 2 bars, C sus2, 2, 3, 4, 2 bars, and then he does that again, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, so these 8 bars twice, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, G for 2 bars, 3, 4, 1, 2, C sus2 or C add 9 for 2 bars. And then I've suggested you go back into that 3rd verse picking pattern, down, down, up, down, up, while it builds up. So 2 bars of E minor 7, 2 bars of D sus2 over F sharp, G for 2 bars, and then C add 9, finish off with D sus2. Cool, so I'm going to play that breakdown section again, so E minor, ring out for 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, D sus2 over F sharp for 2 bars, G5, 2 bars, 2, 3, 4, C sus2 or C add 9 for 2 bars, and do all that again, E minor, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, again you can pick a bit more out if you want, you don't have to let them ring out if you want to do something a bit more. 3, C sus2 for 2 bars, and then find a way of building it up. So you can just use the same picking pattern as we did before. So it's 2 D over F sharp, G for 2 bars, C add 9, D sus2. And then basically after that, you just got that. Obviously the live version is a lot longer, they really build it up. It's all the same chords though, you know, that this tray, and getting the crowd to go crazy. But this is the one that pretty much the kind of, you know, the stripped down version, which is on the record, I'm pretty sure anyway. And it's got all the parts in there. So again, this is my own version, so it's just my take on it, just to kind of grasp roughly what Bruce is doing and the overall sound you're getting with all the instruments. So hope that clarifies everything. There's a lot of things to remember in this song in terms of the song structure especially. So don't forget the song structure will be in the description as well. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.